Hello and welcome to Armchair Opinion. I'm your host Chris, and I really enjoyed The Babysitter when it was released back in 2017. It had a fun and somewhat unique style to it. It was goofy and it packed a punch in the gore department. It also had Samara Weaving, who's been great in everything she's been in. 3 years later, we now have a sequel, which was quite unexpected. Directed once again by Mook G, The Babysitter, Killer Queen sees Judah Lewis reprising his role as Cole. It's been 2 years since he survived the satanic blood ritual of his babysitter's cult, and he's become a pariah of his school. Even his parents don't believe his version of events. In fact, they're thinking of sending him to a psychiatric hospital when Cole decides to go on a trip with his friend Melanie. But Cole finds himself once again fighting for his life against a cult of Satan worshippers. This film is pretty goofy, and it has a certain style to it that reminds me of Edgar Wright, only with about half the talent. Some of the stylistic choices work in this movie, but a lot of them don't. For instance, there's a beat-em-up style fight sequence, which could have been quite fun if it had fit thematically with the style of the film, but it just comes out of nowhere, and for no other reason than I guess it seemed like a fun idea. And it can be fun if it's done well, like the Jackie Chan versus Gary Daniels fight in City Hunter, where they crash into a Street Fighter arcade machine and start fighting as video game characters. Huh? But in this movie, it's just done very poorly, and there are several moments throughout that are like that. Odd stylistic choices that just aren't particularly done well, and just don't blend into the film. Instead, they kind of stick out actually like a sore thumb. The gore here is okay, there are a few nice effects here and there, but there's also an overuse of CGI that doesn't always hit the mark. With gore, practical always wins, and CGI should only really be used to complement the practicals, I think, rather than the other way around. Unfortunately, there's too much CGI with the gore in this one. I enjoyed Judah Lewis's performance as Cole, and there are some side characters that I really liked. Ken Marino, who plays his dad, he's really funny and he steals every scene that he's in. I also really liked Robbie Amell's character, because even though he's trying to kill Cole, he's also really supportive of him whenever he fights back. He's like a proud older brother, and that's pretty funny. Jenna Ortega, on the other hand, she just wasn't very good in the movie, and I found her acting to be quite distracting, which is a shame because she's in most of the movie. One thing that annoyed me was that it never feels as though these characters are in any kind of real danger. There's so much pontificating from the satanic cult members. At certain points it just feels like lazy writing. There's no necessity for cleverness in anyone's survival because the bad guys, they've got no urgency in their action. They amble along and they stall instead of act, and when you feel at any time they could have completed their task if they had just taken it a little more seriously. But we're not supposed to take any of it seriously. This is definitely a goofy and kind of dumb movie that does have some genuinely funny moments sprinkled throughout. Not all the jokes land, of course, and the eclectic stylistic choices often serve more to distract than to impress due to a lack of coherency and polish. I'm going to give Babysitter, Killer Queen a 6 out of 10. But I didn't just watch this movie by myself. I went with my good friend and mascot of the channel, Jackie Chan. Jackie, what did you think of Babysitter, Killer Queen?
You think it, you do it. It's a cartoon film. When you fall on the floor, becoming a very flat, like a paper. Maybe sometimes ridiculous. Fun.
Thanks, Jackie. And thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please take a moment to hit that like button, as encouraging my vanity is the first step to joining the satanic cult. And if you want to see more reviews from me, think about subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next one.